You guys keep asking me to review the Makiage Woke Up Like This foundation, so what do you think we're gonna do today? So let's dive on in. I got it in the shade 140. I took the quiz fairly easy, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't necessarily trusting the quiz because y'all know I'm picky. The quiz matched me to 140, and on the side I ended up placing a separate order and ended up getting a lighter shade, and the lighter shade did not work, but the 140 did work. This foundation is supposed to provide a beautiful, like, skin-like medium to full coverage, at least that's my opinion, medium to full coverage, and it just looks really pretty. The coverage is nice and it blends well. I'm gonna pump some on the back of my hand. I wanna show you what the formula is like. My skin looks greasy. It's not greasy. I've prepped it with the niacinamide dewdrops by Glow recipe. You already know how I do. And what I like about this foundation is that you can apply it with a sponge and or a brush, and you're gonna get the most beautiful coverage regardless of what you're using. So what do you think we're gonna use today, Miha? We are going to use a brush. This is the Anissa Beauty Pinnacle brush. I've been trying her for the past week, and I really like it. I like it. Okay, let me zoom you guys in real quick, because I feel like we need to get up close and personal so you guys can see how this foundation applies. Okay, doggy, artichoke. So I am gonna do just the one side so you guys see. At first I thought it was gonna be way too yellow. Then I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna be too pink. Then I was like, oh no, maybe it's gonna be too orange. But I feel like I still am able to do my 2 pumps and get such beautiful coverage. So you guys see what I'm doing here. I'm kind of like dabbing it in place, and that's because a little bit is gonna go a very long way. I do not want to overdo it, so I kind of dab it because of course it's a brush, so you want to make sure you're gonna get the most coverage as possible. You know what, let's just kind of do one of these. So I'm getting a ton of questions as to whether or not I think this particular foundation is worth it. I do. Are there other foundations on the market that are really nice? Yes. However, the foundations on the market don't necessarily spot on match you. And so for me, this one just took, it's like really foolproof. It took all the guesswork away from me. And you guys see how my face is starting to match my neck. My face is more red than the rest of my body. Call it hormones, call it age, I don't know. And I don't really tan my face. So this here, the 2 pumps, balanced out my skin. It gave me the perfect undertone. It's not too yellow, it's not too pink. And this foundation is buildable. So when you're doing the survey, they're gonna ask you questions like, do you have oily, do you have combo, are you neutral, are you cool? They help you try to narrow down, and this video is not sponsored. I think it should be, but it's not. It helps you narrow down what your undertone is, so you'll get a better picture as to what type of finish and or foundation you're gonna need, and then they match you. They have another one which I really wanted to try, and they matched me to that one too, and it was really good. So sometimes my skin can be dry in certain areas, sometimes my skin is just your regular combo. It really depends on the season. So this one would be for most of the year, and then the other one that I have, I would technically use specifically on like winter months. I have a pelito. Why am I always having pelitos lately? It's so random. Okay, so here she goes. And I know, at first you're like, wait, but you just look blah. We look blah because it's literally matches. But once you apply your concealer and you put everything in its place and finish off your makeup, it looks amazing. Now say that you only wanted to apply the foundation and you're like, I don't have time for a full face of makeup. I don't want to pop all this makeup on my skin. That's perfectly fine. Just do less. So you apply 1 pump, apply with a sponge, or go in with your brush and make sure that you apply that 1 pump all over the skin the way I did, right? And then you go in and buff it in, and you're gonna get the most beautiful light coverage, but it still balances out. So here is what we are looking like. Does she play beautifully with other product? Yes. Creams, liquids, and powders work so beautifully with this, and it doesn't get obstructed, it doesn't move around, and it lasts all day. If you are a victim of humidity, you always want to set it. If you have fine lines and wrinkles in certain areas, you kind of have to adapt the foundation on your skin based on the circumstances. It's not just this foundation, it's all foundations. If you have fine lines and wrinkles, regardless of the foundation you're using, you're gonna have to set that and make sure that, you know, it's not gonna move around because you have fine lines and wrinkles. If you have beautiful 15, 16-year-old, 18-year-old skin, you have no wrinkles, no fine lines, mija, you can get away with pretty much anything and your skin is gonna look absolutely amazing. So here's what I'm gonna do. I wanna kind of like show you guys. This is my skin. It doesn't look heavy, it doesn't look cakey, and it has not oxidized. Again, it literally matches this here. And I've used this with my Elios ring light and it's all balanced. It's a little different when the camera is really focusing on the face, but in real life, this literally matches to a T. So as you guys can see, it's not emphasizing my pores in a really weird way. It literally looks like skin. It doesn't look heavy. It doesn't feel cakey. It doesn't feel like it's much of anything on my face, which I really, really like. So I'm gonna move along. I'm gonna apply my concealer really quickly. I'm gonna set the skin because I want you guys to see what the final look is like. And again, this is the coverage I'm getting with 2 pumps, which is beautiful. So I'm gonna finish off my face and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so the rest of my makeup is on. I did film the dedicated brow tutorial for you guys. It's already live, so make sure you guys go check that out. I am gonna link that video up here, so if you wanna go check it out, feel free to check that out. Save it, share it. I try to make it as easy as possible for everyone to learn and achieve beautiful brows. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna zoom you guys in, I'm gonna show you my skin with all the other product on top. Now you guys can see the concealer area. I did apply my concealer as well as applied a setting powder to set my concealer. There's no creasing, there's no disruption between product, and the concealer I used is a pretty high coverage and thicker concealer in my opinion. It's the Item Beauty one, and it just works so beautifully along with the foundation. Now let's focus on bronzer. I applied my bronzer. I also applied my blush, a little bit of a blush with a highlight to it. There's still a very pretty gradient, but there's no patchiness. There's no disruption in product. It didn't shift. It did not move. You guys can see I applied my bronzer on top here. Still, you get a very airbrushed gradient. Now, all in all, with concealer and powder, and yes, the bronzer I used is also a powder, you would think my skin would look dry and patchy and weird, but not with this foundation. I still look luminous and hydrated, and my skin still looks healthy, and it also feels very lightweight. And no, nothing is sticky, nothing is tacky. I don't feel like it's gonna move around, and I don't have to do a wear test because I've tried this foundation, like I said, for a while now. Like, I'm talking weeks and weeks at a time. And my honest opinion is it's a very, very beautiful formula. I mean, she wears beautifully throughout the day. She doesn't fade, she doesn't patch up. On my skin, she doesn't settle. And again, I didn't apply a primer. And no, I don't powder throughout the day to set any areas that look oily. And that's me with my combo normal skin. All right, guys, now I brought you up close and personal to my skin and my makeup. I really hope you have found this video useful in determining whether or not this is a foundation you want to try. If you've already tried this foundation, leave us some feedback down below. That way you're also supporting our community here on this channel, and let people know, do you love it? Do you not love it? What was your experience? What's your skin type? Let's help each other out. I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.